Alright guys, we're back. We're still working on our train. Mr. Gainon's train, we're trying to develop this a little bit farther. We just keep pushing and pushing it. You gotta take good care of these trains. Those are pretty unique little things. Right now we're putting our lights back into it. I just got me some white out here, and I mixed it in with a little bit of this blue to kind of make it just to dull that color just a little bit. Almost like a sky color. Mix those together there, and get a little bit of water on my brush so it'll flow a little bit better. And we're just trying to get some lights on here, see? Because you gotta have some of that on there. So we're picking out places where the light might be hitting and getting that in there, and like around our windows we'll give it a little, get some light on there. We've got this handrail, and we'll have all kinds of different, this is just, when we paint all those darks, we had to get some lights in here for some of this stuff. So again, we're just drawing with the lights a little bit. Remember we had that walking platform where the engineer walked from front to the rear. Let's get it back in here. And a little bit of light back here, and the lights on his steps where he goes up and down the steps to get on and off the train. I'll have that in there. So we're just trying to draw some simple shapes in here right now. A little bit of light down here in the, so I love those little arches. I want to keep those in there. If the color's too bright, we'll tone it down later. But we're going to get it in there. We get our shapes where we want them. That's that preacher's bench out there where everybody sits, waiting on that train to get there. We got that in there. We have a door handle right there, casting all that shadow, see. We'll catch a little edge of light right down the side here, across this windowsill here. Just trying to get a little bit established here. And I just put a little bit on my brush, just put all these strokes on there, and we'll find out what works and what don't. And we keep adding more colors and going back and forth. But you know, one thing we got to get on here pretty good. These train tracks. Right on top of that rail's bright, look at that. Pull that track in there, see? But we couldn't have done it if we had that dark track under it. That's why I painted them tracks black. I wasn't worried about the track being black because I was going to put a light rail right there. Top of them rails stayed shiny because they had them trains run across it all the time. They kept that thing wore down pretty good. We'll carry it on down as it dries out a little bit. Just carry it on back through here. A little bit over here between the wheels. That kind of make it look like a track back in there somewhere, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're after. Now we got this light on here. Let's get some of this shape back. So we had that. That's the can that blows. This is the steam compression chamber here. That's where that. There's hoses going everywhere. We had little hoses running under here. The edge of this wheel. The very edge of a train wheel is always bright and shiny because it's always rolling. You know, it's rolling down here on those tracks. So the edge of that wheel is going to be very bright. And we'll straighten that up here in a little bit. Don't get that light color right in there. Especially on this big wheel. And so we got that piston coming across here. And we'll catch it. Let's get the edge of that wheel shaped. Where it comes down. Gets there. So it kind of disappears over the top. So we're not seeing that back edge. We want to see that front edge, see. And then right here where the train wheel's kind of funny. It's got this half moon shape right here. And that's a counterbalance. It throws that wheel on around when it makes its turn. You got that shaft coming out, the steam piston shaft. It's got the shaft going across here. We got the center of the wheels. We're just making pieces. We're just trying to get pieces on that train put on there. So we're back to doing the drawing parts of it. You got that handrail that comes down, the engineer holds on to, so you come down the side right there. It's got one coming out here. Now see all that dark we got in there? That'll be good for that handrail. There it is. So that's how he holds on to that while he goes up them steps. So it gives him something to hold on to. So just put things where you know where they're at. And there's the steps to get him up into the floor of the engine. There's the top of it. Guys, there's no reason anybody can't do what we're doing here and have fun doing it. Learn to paint. That's all we're wanting to do. You got that last step down there to get off that train. Get you a bit more of that light on these wheels. As you can tell, we're not afraid to put it on there. Because we know if we put a wrong stroke or a wrong shape, or we know how to straighten that out. More paint. I always got more paint. There we go, let's get you out there. We'll tone it down. Remember, you got these gravels out here. Let's keep them gravels out here. We got the gray and light gray. I got that good light color up here where the sun's really hitting. Lightest parts next to that dark. Lightest stroke. Up here, that's your headlight. Come around the boiler a little bit. And I'll tone that with some other colors, but that gives me a good kind of outline for that. Well, we got these wheels back here, we ain't got to them yet. Let's get them cut into here. Just another axle under there. Other side, those wheels over there on the other side. Had a wheel over there somewhere. The axle come across here and side of that door. Got to put a door frame on there and the top of that frame. Catch a little bit up on that edge up there. Just places they had brights. And they always painted this car because it just made it, the shape of that was so pretty. They wanted it to stand out. That's actually called a French curve right there. I don't know why, but they even sell them things in the stores for people to paint with. I guess I ought to figure that out one of these days, shouldn't I? And we had the old 97 on there. Well, get that kind of back in there. We're getting things to paint into. Always having things to paint into. That's what I like to do. Get that white on there. Oops. Kind of bad about that. But I don't worry about it a whole lot because I know how to fix it. Get that in there. And we're getting a lot of our colors out. We'll go back and put them in, but we're getting our highlights where we need them. We're getting our canvas covered. Getting some lights on here, and we'll go light to dark till we end up with what we want. I'll tell you what, y'all come.